Eric Scheidler here, Executive Director of the Pro-Life Action League. I'm at Adams and Wacker in downtown Chicago, just on the other side of the bridge from Union Station. We're out here showing the pictures of abortion, these poor innocent victims that have been destroyed by abortion, and passing out literature to the thousands of people passing by on their way home after work, going to the train stations. Now this year for the Truth Tour, we asked people to join the Truth Tour prayer team and to adopt a specific day of the tour to pray for. We asked people to pray before that day, during that day, and after that day for good weather, for good turnout, for people who saw the signs to be moved and to refuse to have anything to do with abortion. And I want to give you a little halftime report here halfway through the Face of Truth Tour. We asked people to pray for some specific things, and I'm going to go down the list. Weather. Well, you can see the umbrellas out here. There's a whole group about to cross the street here, and some of them still have umbrellas out. They don't realize that the rain has stopped. And you know, that's an answer to a prayer. You know, it started to rain a little bit and then it went away. We've had a tiny bit of rain today. In fact, it was, if anything, pleasant this morning when it was raining. We've had some hot days, we've had some sun, but everyone's been healthy. It's been, on the weather side, we've been really lucky this year. We haven't had to shut down from rain, and we haven't had too brutal of a heat yet. Hot, but we can handle it. Turnout. We've had great turnout throughout the tour. Our first day, especially in Lake Zurich, Palatine, was a really excellent turnout out there. And the volunteers are very enthusiastic, very dedicated, people returning to site after site after site. We're really grateful for that. We also asked you to pray because there's been so many attacks on pro-lifers, and I have some things to report there. The main theme this year seems to be spitting. We've had almost every day somebody has been spat on or their sign's been spat on. And I've talked about that a little bit in some of my other videos this week. We had one case, a young woman, 16-year-old, was apprehended by police for spitting on someone's sign. It was pretty disgusting. I had to clean the sign myself. It was a nasty thing to do. But the police, you know, consulting with us, they decided to let her go if she would simply apologize to the young man who's holding that sign. Figured for a 16-year-old, she's doing something stupid. Maybe she'll learn something about mercy and maybe reconsider her position, or at least try to be a nicer person when she's walking around in the public square. We had a fellow shove somebody, actually. He actually got a citation from the police yesterday outside the Art Institute. Yesterday in downtown Chicago, we had a weird counter-protest. They told us on Facebook, they announced that they were going to be protesting our protest of abortion, but they didn't show up. And so we wondered where they were, and then we found out from one of our staff members or volunteers who'd been out at the Ogilvy Transportation Center that they were gathered there on the other side of the river, completely wrong place. So we went over there and I shot a video of that. You can check that out on my Facebook page, Eric J. Scheidler, and see you can see that in person and all the chants that were directed at us, me and my buddy Matt, as we were visiting that particular location. And really kind of hilarious fail there on their part to counter-protest the protest that they were nowhere near. So great stuff has been happening on this tour. We've had some wonderful conversations. In fact, right now, one of our staff members is having a conversation here. Hope Miller, she's right there having a conversation with a young man about abortion and a whole host of other things. It's going great. You know, when people will stop and talk, they find out that we're personable, we're civil, we're respectful. We just want to share the truth about this. We don't come at it with rancor or anger or anything like that, because none of that does any good. So thanks for all your prayers that have made this such a great tour so far. I've got some exciting news to share with you too. I want to wait just a minute to do that, to encourage you to keep those prayers coming. If you haven't made a prayer pledge, or if you made a prayer pledge for an earlier day and that prayer pledge is now kind of expired in that sense, pick another day. If you go to prolifeaction.org/FTT2019 or check the link with this video that I'll include, you can make that prayer pledge to pray before, during, and after that day to ensure that we have, or not to ensure we can't tell God what to do, but to ask Him for these things that we need, especially that these signs be impactful and that those who saw them will be turned away from abortion. Even if they were upset seeing the pictures or were angry about it, that may be enough to stop them from ever having anything to do with abortion. But the big news, today we learned that Lena Wen, the CEO of Planned Parenthood, was fired from her job. News is just breaking, and I'm trying to get my head around it and reading her statement, but it appears that there was a philosophical difference between her and the board of directors over the priority that Planned Parenthood was placing on abortion. Lena Wen, we protested her just a few weeks ago when she spoke at a Planned Parenthood fundraiser in Chicago. It was our first protest of her. We thought it would be one of many, but it turns out to be our first and last because she is out. She was once the health department head in Baltimore, and it looks as if she was really interested in healthcare and recognized that healthcare is not all about abortion. In fact, abortion's not healthcare at all. But even if you admit that it, say that it is, it's still not the only thing, obviously, but for Planned Parenthood it is. That's the only thing they care about, and that's becoming crystal clear with her firing. So news is still coming out about this. There's a long statement that she's made that we're looking through, but I think it's a very, very embarrassing day for Planned Parenthood when their now former CEO is pointing out that they are really prioritizing abortion over anything else that might be of concern to women and families. So that's my halftime report. Again, please keep those prayers coming. If you'd like to make a gift to help to support this tour, keep our folks watered. We had to buy a lot of rain ponchos this year to be ready for the rain. Fortunately, we haven't had to use them too much, but all these little costs add up. Every $5, every $10 makes a difference. So if you want to support us in that way or by joining the prayer team, we're welcome to have you. You can be part of this tour in those ways. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your prayers and support, and God bless you.